What's going on, everybody? Here we are, NFC East. I know we were out last week. We're slowly going to be in this week. But right now, you're going to be starting off with myself, Sneaky G Man, and also Pork Ryan. How you doing, Pork Ryan?
Oh man, I'm doing great. Besides, the Commanders football season, but
So let's let's talk about the Commanders football.
oh, not
Um,
much to talk about.
right, and you had one job. You had one
Yeah,
job,
yeah.
and
Beat the
to be
Cowboys.
fair, we won't talk about. Well, we got to talk about Monday night. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's start off with this. We lost Monday Night Football. Okay, now let's go on to the Commanders. Um, you know, do you think Dallas is for real?
No, no. We blew that game, man. I mean, Cooper Rush, yeah, our defense made him look good, but at the same time, he did throw two picks that both times we picked him off. Um, it got turned over because of the penalties that was caused. I mean, we're beating ourselves right now. Our offensive line can't block. Wentz has 2 seconds to throw the ball before he's getting smacked. Um, I mean, it's just hopefully they get it together. It's going to be a long season.
So for us, we couldn't block anybody. It was just, and I'm talking about the Monday night game. Um, the Monday night game, I was there, had a great time. I met the legend, the
Mhm.
LT, the LT.
Very cool.
Um, and hold on a second here, and it was depressing.
Yeah.
It was it was hard to watch. Jones running all over the field, no protection. I mean, they did the best they could. And the bottom line, to be fair, everybody knows that Martindale has the type of defense that's going to be rushing. Okay,
Yep.
and so the Cowboys were prepared for that. Now the Giants, we weren't prepared for the type of blitz, or not even blitz. I'll say pressure
Right.
that the Dallas Cowboys had.
Front. Yep.
What I love most about it is one, we cannot blame Daniel Jones on that loss. He did everything he could, other than an ill-advised interception at the end of the game. Um, and I'm not going to go over his stats because that was a couple weeks ago.
Right.
Um, how and then Barkley had okay numbers. Had the touchdown. Overall offensive line. I mean that's our Achilles heel. That's
Yeah.
basically our Achilles heel.
I'm gonna say for us, it's our offensive line, it's our defensive backs, man, and both of the going into the offseason, I felt like we needed to sign Brandon Sheriff, our All Pro guard. We haven't had an All Pro in years, and finally we get an All Pro guard, and we just let him go. And then the bad thing is we signed the guy that the team that Brandon went to cut. So, I mean, they cut him for a reason, you know. So, yeah, it's not looking. Offensive line is definitely it used to be our strong point, and now it's ugly. It's absolutely ugly. And I remember when Ron Rivera used to coach the Panthers, they had the same issue. Because my brother is a huge Panther fan, and he would always complain that there was no offensive line to block for Cam Newton. That's why he would always have to run the ball, and then he'd always end up hurt. So I mean, I'm surprised Carson's not in a body bag right now. The way he's getting smacked around left and right, he's probably getting hit more than Joe Burrow is. So
Yeah, I you know, one thing I do want to bring up about our Monday night game. Who did you have last week?
We had who did we have? I was there. It was we had
Because I know we played.
Oh, it was the Eagles. We had the Eagles.
Oh, okay. And so are you guys on a 2-game losing streak right now?
We're on a 3-game losing streak.
Oh, 3. I don't know why I'm laughing. I don't know why I'm laughing at that. I guess because I had expectations of 2, and then here comes the third.
Yeah, I wish it was only 2. In the Eagles game, I mean, here's the thing that really just it really just frustrates me. Scott Turner wants to throw the ball every down, and when your offensive line's not blocking this, your quarter or to allow your quarterback to throw the ball, try something else. Maybe run the ball, because we were actually running the ball against Dallas.
And Gibson's your running back, right?
Yeah, Gibson's our running back, and Brian Robinson is, he's eligible to come back. I know they've started the clock on his return. I don't necessarily think it's going to be this week against Tennessee, but who knows? But he's going to be returning soon. So once we get him back, I think it's going to be a nice little 1-2 punch with him and Gibson. But I mean, Williams has stepped into that running back 2 spot pretty nicely. He had a couple good runs. I think he had like 3 really good runs against Dallas last week, where he almost broke one. But I mean, we shot ourselves in the foot last week. The refs, when you're in Jerry's world, of course, the refs are all in Jerry's.
Oh, that's
talk,
right. You guys were in Dallas.
Dude, and that's the thing that irritates. I mean, it's pretty bad when you have fans from Dallas texting you saying, wow, they are missing a lot of calls.
Oh, hold up. So you didn't come to this game, did you?
I did not go, no. I didn't.
Okay, because had you came and not let me know, we would have some beef. We would have some beef.
No, trust me. Last year was enough. After that whooping that I took, I said that I would give it a year off before I go back to Dallas. So, but I might go back to Dallas in the next year or 2. But
you better bring your appetite.
I will. I will. So
let me ask you this. So you said no when you said you think Dallas is for real. Is Philly?
No, I don't think Dallas is for real.
But what about Philadelphia?
I definitely think they're better than Dallas. Who do they play? They've got a pretty good. They play Arizona this week, right?
They do. Yeah, the Cardinals.
I think Arizona might put a better. They might give them the best out of the first 4 games that they've played so far. They might give them the best competition. I'm not sold on Philly yet, man. I think they're good, but I'm just not sold on them. I think once they play a little bit better teams, I think Jalen Hurts is gonna make some mistakes.
You see how he acts in his press conference?
I don't watch him, man.
So there's a thin line between confident and
cocky. Yeah.
I
get that.
I'm gonna say he's confident, but a piece of me wants to say he's cocky.
Yeah.
But being 4-0, hold on. But being 4-0, you deserve that right.
You deserve to be a little
however
cocky.
You can be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I gotta give him that. Now. Yeah. So I'm gonna back up. I'll talk about the Giants, the Monday night loss to Dallas, because we are trying to make up for lost times. We didn't meet up last week.
Yeah. I'd be in a better mood if we would have won at least one of those games.
Yeah, I would have. Yeah, I would have loved to have been 4-0 right now. 4-0 right now. So let me back. So we flew in Sunday morning. Went to the mall. The what is it called? I can't. It's a mall in Jersey. I can't think of the name of it. Anyway, so Mama Boss and Sienna, they went shopping, spent money that I don't have. And we got back to the room. It was Sunday night and we passed out. Okay.
Yep.
Fast forward to Sunday morning. I get a text message from a friend of mine, and I head over to Thank you, Danny, thank you. The Jersey Gardens Mall. If you haven't been, I highly recommend. That mall is phenomenal. And actually, Danny and I, we went shopping there. Actually, so Sunday morning. Well, first off, we got up, took a shower, ate breakfast, whatever, because it was a free breakfast where we were staying at. Okay, I'm taking full advantage
Absolutely
of that meal. So anyway, got fat and happy in the morning. Went in the room, showered up, head over to the Hilton, and apparently they were having a like a Giants alum at the hotel.
Okay.
So I met up with a friend of mine. We went up to where the Giants were eating breakfast, and I'm sitting, maybe 20 yards from Tillman, and who was a safety for the Giants back in the day. And so I'm eating, and there's a lot of these, former Giants, enjoying their meal. And in comes LT.
Oh man.
I can't describe what that feeling of shock.
Right.
Okay. The feeling of shock when one of the greatest player of all time, one of the giant of all time, arguably, not even arguably. I don't think there's even a debate. Just the awe. Now I remember Strahan telling the story of LT when he first met him, how he floated into the locker room. There was some validity to that story because he was like a Magneto. He like floated into the auditorium, where they were serving the breakfast. And when he walked in, because my back was facing the door, he greeted the people that were at the table in front of me. I couldn't speak. I was like, dude, a deep belt sign, please. Literally, that's exactly what came out of my mouth. And he was like, yeah, I got you. I'll be right back. So, of course, he made his rounds and he was seeing everybody. People taking pictures, shaking hands, blah, blah, blah. And he came around and he did sign the belt I got in the back.
Nice.
And shook his hand, talked. I made a comment to him, and I've thought of this. Like matter of fact, someday you and I we discuss this. When I meet Doug Williams, I'm gonna say to him, "Hey, I got a question I've been wanting to ask you for years, and I know it's a stupid ass question. What did you want to say to that reporter? What did you really want to say to that reporter when he asked you how long what is it like being a black quarter? I want to ask that question, just to, and with no phones on, nobody around, just hit man to man. Right. And of course you could be there too.
Oh, yeah.
So with LT, of course, it was less controversial type question. And it was more of a statement. I said to him, matter of fact, I just got to tell you, I just got done watching Any Given Sunday. Best football movie, in my opinion, best football movie of all time.
That's a good one.
And it should be, in my opinion, again, it should be on people's at least top 5 list of football movies. He said, and and I'll share the video someday, but he slapped me on my chest and he said, man, them checks came and went long time ago. And I bring up him slapping me on the chest is because I haven't bathed since. And that was well, and then when I put like a saran wrap. Yeah,
I got a tattoo of his hand in your
I tried. The mark, dissipated before. That's not a word, but let's pretend it is for now. But and the funny thing is, Nick has his jersey. Nick knows LT, right? Even at the age that he's at now.
Yeah.
And Danny, I'm going to get to your question to Pork Rind here in a second. And so Nick was like, I didn't get to take a picture. I just got to take the picture. And I'm like, if
Y'all
you
didn't get
don't,
a picture with him?
well, he ended up, getting a, but I'm like, well, why didn't you say something? Because
Right.
I'm in shock.
Yeah.
I'm not, wait a minute, what ring do you got on?
Oh, it's my PFUFA ring.
You finally look at that.
Finally got it. Yep.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yep.
Let me see it. Show it off to everybody.
Ah,
Put it in. There you go.
there we go.
That I need it. And look, we got who I got to pay to get one of those. And does it have the team that you represent on it? Does it have the
It
Commanders?
does not. Well, on the inside it says "Hell to the Redskins."
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, congratulations.
Appreciate it, man.
Congratulations. We'll talk about that after the show. So Nick was complaining. I'm like, why didn't you say something? Oh, and the whole time I'm taking a picture or getting a video with Nick, I'm in shock. Okay, this LT we're talking about.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, "You okay? You good? You all right? You okay? You good? You all right? You okay?" I'm like, "Nick, no, I'm not good. Shut the hell up." I'm just sitting here fumbling through stuff, and anyway, long story short, we ended up going downstairs after LT left after some time, and there was like a bunch of Giants. Gerard Bunch, of course, LT was out hanging around. Just a collection of history. I got to hold the 1990 Super Bowl ring. I got to even put it on.
Nice.
Got autographs of everybody. It was an overall experience. So fast forward. Oh, and of course I met up with Leonard Marshall.
Yeah.
The Ring of Honor inductee the night. I wanted to bump into his name is skipping me right now. Hampton, Rodney Hampton. I talked to his dad for a little bit, but I guess they took off somewhere. But the funny thing is, as we're leaving now, with me being me, okay, I don't want to wear out my welcome, right? So LT was out. They ended up going outside. They're all smoking a cigar, and of course, I wanted to go, hang out and whatever. But I'm like, no, I'm good. And I'm glad I didn't, because
you should have went out there with your own cigar and just started puffing away with them.
I thought about it. And matter of fact, because the guy he had a bag. One of the Giants had a bag of them, and I was going to say, hey, may I, purchase one?
Right.
And but I just said no. I didn't want to, because in my mind I'm like, look, I met LT. I talked to LT upstairs. Yeah. I talked to him downstairs. We got a picture with Nick. Shook his hand, got to meet him. It was freaking phenomenal. And then we ended up getting the Uber back to our hotel so we can get ready. Actually, no, we went to the American Dream. Then we went back to the hotel. Then we went to the game. When I went outside, he was around a lot of people while he's smoking a cigar on the bench. So I'm like, I'm glad I wasn't out there, just obvious. So hold on. Danny got a question for you. Hey, Pork Rind, you think, was it McLaurin? No, McLaurin is wasting a great talent in Washington. Geez, I can't read today. Do you think you guys should trade him away and stack draft picks, because you guys would get a ransom for him?
So I actually was setting for the Eagles game. McLaurin's dad was sitting in front of me to the left, and I've sat and talked to McLaurin's dad quite a few times. He's come out last year when we were at the Raiders. He came out to our tailgate. We talked, and I do feel like we are wasting his talent, because the man he's definitely a number one wide receiver. He's, maybe not.
What's up, Mike?
Top 3, but I'd definitely say he's between 5 and 10. I mean, 10's being, I would say he's top 5, but that's my opinion. And I was really, hoping that with Wentz coming there, he finally had a quarterback that had an arm, but our offensive line is it's not allowing them to get that ball to him. It was pretty bad. I think last week it took until the third quarter before we got him. Jahan Dotson is tough as well. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean he's going to be a stud for years to come as long as we have somebody throwing him the damn ball. But yeah, I don't want to see McLaurin go. You know, I think he's a great player. He's a great leader in that locker room. Um, and I mean, I just who's to say? I mean, he signed a 3-year deal. I if things don't turn around, he won't be with us. We'll lose him. He wants to win. I think he signed the contract hoping that we would turn things around and the money was good. But I think after 3 years, he'll look for a team that's in contention of winning the championship because that's what he wants. So, and I told his dad because that actually got brought up about him wanting to win, and I told his dad after the game, I said, "Well, wherever Terry goes, I'll go with him." So
do you think Wentz? Well, hold on, let me back up real quick. When a quarterback goes into a new spot, okay, or when a quarterback gets a new coach, and I'm not making this about Jones, I'm not saying that to you. I'm saying that to our listeners. It takes some time,
and that's the thing.
For a quarterback to develop the chemistry. Because I mean, there's type of communication on the field that you can't see that the quarterback has to develop with the receivers, with the running back, even with the offensive line, like the cadence. Right.
Yeah.
So my question. Oh, here we go. I'll wait till he gets set. There you go. What's going on, True? Can you hear us? There we go. I'll wait till he gets. You got us?
I got you now.
Oh, good deal. What's going on, True?
Oh, busy.
Oh, I bet. So with Wentz being in there, first off, I got to give you guys props. Those jerseys were sick.
Black ones, yeah.
I like the black helmet. And I saw that helmet you got, you lucky bastard. The helmet, the commander's helmet that you got.
Oh, the full size one?
No, was it the full? I thought it was a mini.
Are you talking about the salute to service one?
No. Didn't you got a?
The black. Yeah. So the black. So yeah, I did get the black one. The bad thing with the alternate helmet is they didn't come with numbers, so I had to get somebody to make me a set of numbers. So I put the numbers on.
It looked good.
They turned out real good. But yeah, I'm a fan of them.
So with Wentz, I want to ask you, do you believe in Wentz? But I don't think that's a fair question.
It's not a fair question because our offensive line's not blocking for him. And, I mean, he's not helping himself out either by getting outside of the pocket because when he gets outside of the pocket, he's not throwing the ball away either. He's taking sacks. So, I mean, a little bit's on him, but a little bit's on that offensive line too. I'm giving Wentz to week 7. I'm being generous. As I feel like by week 7, we should see a little bit from him.
For me, I would say this year would have to be a freebie, all 17 games, and then going into next year. And if you don't see, again, this is just me. And then if you don't see any progression, then because then I mean, is Wentz a placeholder? Because he signed a 3-year deal, right?
He signed a 3-year deal. Yep.
So he's at least going to have this year and next year.
Yeah.
And then I haven't looked at the contract, so I don't know if they can opt out of him on the 3rd year.
Nah.
But he may have to have a quick turnaround.
Yeah. Well, I think Ron might be making some decisions in his coordinators here soon because he's going to be put on that hot seat if it doesn't if they don't turn it around. I'll be honest, man. I'm very disappointed in Jack Del Rio. When he came, I knew what kind of defenses he led in other teams that he's played or coached for previous. And with us converting from a 3-4 back to a 4-3, I was excited about it because we've always had really good defenses when we were in that system.
Right.
Greg Williams years and everything else. And then when we switched to a 3-4, that's when everything kind of changed for us. And so I was excited about Jack Del Rio, but his blitz is very vanilla. There's no creativity, no nothing. And most of the time it's, we might bring a linebacker. We don't. I think we might have once or twice this year brought a safety. And when we did, we got a sack. So, and then offensive coordinator, Scott Turner, something's got to change with him too, because his play calling it's trash. It really is. We had some success running the ball last week, and then every time we start driving the ball, then we throw it. And then, he drops back, he's getting hit. So we go from a second and manageable to a third and 22 because
welcome to my world for the last 2 years. That was my.
Well, I don't like it.
True. So Young K, big Cowboys fan. We just gonna lead with you. Since you came late, we're gonna give you the tough one right off the jump. Would you rather have Prescott or Cooper Rush? Now, don't be political with this. Don't be straight up and honest from Cowboy fan to Cowboy fan. I'm going to give you a second and think about this. I love the fact, I don't like the fact that he beat us, but I love the fact that you guys have this, I don't want to say controversy, but I want to say I'm glad that you guys have this, because this is going to add a little more drama. Pressure to and look who we got here. Oh, here we are. We are all together. Let's do this the right way here. Now, what are your thoughts? What would you do if you were McCarthy? What would you do?
If you go back to when we were, what was it, week 1, when we were going into week 2, and I was discussing the non-controversy that was going on with Cooper Rush coming in, and I told you he was going to win the next 3 games, and everybody was saying, well, that. And then you asked me at the same time, was there going to be controversy? And I said, well, you can call it what you want. Now, here's the thing. I think going into this game, it's going to be Cooper Rush. I don't think it's going to be Dak Prescott. I still think the thumb's sore. I still think, like I said, week 6. But when Dak Prescott is healthy, he will be starting as quarterback. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Now, from my perspective, I say you let Rush carry it until he gets himself in trouble. Then you let Prescott go in there. But, I think it's going to be one of those situations where if he's healthy, he's starting.
So you would make it to where it's his job to lose now?
Yeah, because that's just the way it's going to be.
Now, when Dak comes back, to be fair to Dak, I wouldn't start him against the Rams anyway. I would not.
Because of the speed of the game.
Yeah, I would not go against that defensive front, even though, the defense would be keeping them in the game. It's offensive production that's hurting them, which is the Rams.
Yep.
But there's also the flip side to that. Let's say let's say they do let Cooper Rush is going to start regardless, and let's say he balls out.
Yeah.
And he comes out with a win against the Rams. That's going to be a lot of pressure on Dak. I don't. There's a human element to it, right?
Oh yeah.
He can say that it doesn't affect him, it doesn't worry him, but he's going to be put in a position that he hasn't been placed in a long time, to where every pass that he throws, as if it's an incomplete pass, he's going to be looking over his shoulder. That am I getting a hook now?
Yeah, and that's the thing. And again, I think it's going to be when he's 100% healthy and he's able to practice for a week, like it was said by the team. I think that's when they're going to make the decision, and he will start. Now, as a fan, I'm going to say you got to let Cooper go as long as possible. But from the standpoint of Mike McCarthy, I'm going to say, nope, Dak Prescott, as soon as he's healthy, he's going back in.
Yeah, because you got to put that $40 million that he's getting.
Let's be for real, though. Let's be for real. I mean, the Cowboys are winning on their defense alone.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters who's quarterbacking right now, because you could tell by all the gray in his beard. Obviously he's worrying an awful lot. He's worrying an awful lot. So it's only the defense. It doesn't matter. Pat Ryan could win the games that they just won with the Cowboys. Now, I think it's smart to go let Cooper Rush go try to beat the Rams. I think the Rams have probably got a little stick up their ass after losing to the 49ers, and that they're going to come out and play really tough. And I think that the offense is going to click a little bit better than it did with the 49ers. Because if that offense doesn't do well against the Cowboys and the Cowboys win, it doesn't matter who's quarterbacking. The quarterback is going, I don't think Dak's going to do any better than Cooper Rush did. I don't think Cooper Rush is going to do any better than Dak. You know what I mean? I think that it doesn't matter who's your quarterback right now. You're going to get a certain amount of points, and you're going to get allotted about 21 points a game. You get more, anything above 21 is going to be considered gravy. Everything under that, though, that means your defense has got to keep everybody under 21 points.
So you mean to tell me the game that Dak, his last outing against the Bucs, was just first game jitters, first game nerves? That's why they only scored 3 points? Is that?
No, I'm saying that they're not going to score a lot of points against good defenses. Listen, the Giants held them for 3 quarters with no points, really. Would you have 6 points in total? It was such a snooze fest between you two teams. I'm surprised that I was able to make it through. But interestingly enough, it did go over, because all of a sudden everybody decided to score touchdowns and stop playing defense.
I think, in talking about that game, the big turnaround, or the big turning point of that game, I should say, was the no challenge, with CeeDee Lamb catching that ball, questionably having the first down, then immediately setting up, and then CeeDee Lamb catching that ball on the sideline to lead the would have been pretty much the winning touchdown. I think that was the turning point of the game. If it wasn't for that, I don't know, shoulda, coulda, wouldas, but I see your point. I don't know,
so,
and
I think that offense, they don't have the wide receivers. I think that Elliott, when I was asking everybody about whether you would trade him for a 3rd round pick, everybody said no. But realistically, I feel that they should have. They should have traded for a 3rd round pick. I think Pollard is a better back. I think that Pollard is getting stymied because they know that they don't need to worry about the receivers so much. You know what I mean? So I think that because Zeke isn't effective, Pollard can be effective certain times, but the problem is that they have no passing game, so they can squeeze. It's like having an extra half a guy in the box, and that starts to make effect. And that starts to take effect.
And yes,
unlike my birds, where you don't know where it's going to go, we are 4-0, baby. You guys are looking up my skirt, and you see something real big dangling.
And you're right. That I don't even know what that pass interference call. Don't get me started with that.
It was a check, just like in basketball.
It wasn't even. I don't even. Anyway, and yeah, prayers going out to Shep. Speedy recovery. That was just a devastating injury. Last play of the game. But it's good to see him cheering on the sidelines. In good spirits. So, welcome. It's good to have all 4 of us again. I'm kind of speechless. I don't even know what to say. So basically, we were all talking about, because we got some time to catch up, from last week. So I brought up, myself meeting LT, and of course, congratulating. Oh, and I was also Nick and I, we were part of the Ring of Honor ceremony, which I thought was quite phenomenal at halftime. That was good.
Did you guys get to hold the ring? Were you like the ring bearers?
I wish I was. You know me. I be taking pictures and videos.
I know. You would be the flower girl if you could. You know what I mean? I understood.
Hey, all you got to do, you ain't gonna ask me twice. But yeah, we had a really good experience. It would have been better we won, but regardless, it was we went there and we came back safe and sound, so that was a win. But this week we got Green Bay in London, 8:30 in the morning, my time.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Stop crying. Stop
I'm
crying.
gonna cry.
You're
I'm gonna
crying
cry.
already.
There's
You
nothing
sleep in.
better
You-
than waking up and watching a football game.
The weekends are for sleeping in.
Hold on.
know.
You're saying
I don't know what
8:30 in
that's
the morning
like.
your time. 8:30 in the morning your time. Do you know what time it's going to be my time?
9:30.
5:30.
9:30. Oh. Where are you at?
5:30 because I'm going to be in Arizona.
Oh, that's
It'll
right.
be-
Yeah, you guys are in
It'll
Arizona.
be
Yeah.
it'll be 6:30.
It's 3 hours. Well, 3 hours.
No,
So yeah,
the-
5:30, 8:30 your time. So yeah, it would be 6:30. So
Yeah, it's 2 hours.
because
yeah.
I'm adding 3 hours from that time, and I
Right.
feel it should only be 2.
So I do want to respond to this. No, I'm not flying out to London. And here's why.
Hey,
Here's why. Okay.
if we have a game in London, I'm
Yeah,
going
because
to
he
London.
doesn't speak English.
I speak Ebonics. I speak totally Ebonics out there. They won't understand what I'm saying. So no, the wife and I, we discussed going, and we would have went, but that would have been the only game I went to.
No, I get that.
Because I mean, and of course, it's not going to be just myself and Mama Boss. It's going to be the whole family. We're going to stay a week.
Right.
It's going to be one of those. I mean, I would have loved to, but yeah, no, I'm not flying.
So everybody, that means you need to subscribe to him and start making sure that you share that out to everybody so that we could get this monetized so that we could go do those trips. Because you
Yes.
want us there. You all want us there. I know you do.
Yes, definitely.
As I'm doing this in my brother's basement, by the way. So.
Definitely. That would be awesome. True. Are you going to the Thanksgiving game?
Yes, I'll be there.
Okay. All right. Were you there in New York?
No, I didn't make that trip.
Oh, that's right. You told me you weren't going to make. That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. You told me. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
There was some cowboy on the field, though. I don't know who he was, but they gave this guy a lot of play.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I have no idea who he was. He had a cowboy hat on, and he was kind of dressed very similar to the old cowboy guy,
Oh, okay.
the old Dallas Cowboy. You know,
Yeah, Crazy Ray.
so he was very similarly dressed, but he might have been a football player because he looked awfully tall. You know what I mean? Just he looked more like a football player would look, just wearing Dallas colors and similar dress.
So not where I was sitting at, but where Mama Boss was sitting. She told me that there was almost a fight that broke out at the Giants Dallas Cowboy game. And let me tell you how gangster Mama Boss is. And I could see this happening. She said she stood up, turned around, and said, "My child is with me. Let the record show." And apparently everything calmed down. Now, of course, I wasn't there. I'm just going off of what she said. Sienna is 19 years old.
I don't, you know what though? But the moment that somebody does that, the problem is that not many people speak up. You know, and it's I think the same way. It's like, because I paint my face, that doesn't give me the right to tell anybody else what to do. However, if somebody decides to speak up, everybody starts to listen because if somebody was to yell back at her, the rest of the crowd's now going to back her.
Oh, yeah,
and that's what happens. And that's what happens. It has nothing to do with that. It's just that sometimes they got to be told to shut the F up.
Right.
Yep. You know what I mean? And sometimes you could say it like that. Sometimes you could say it more like, "Hey, I got my child here." Because that's what I yell. I yell like, "Hey, there's kids around here."
Yep.
Right.
And all of a sudden it snaps people back into reality because most of these people have kids. Yep. I feel that most people don't want to be bad at these games. That things start to get elevated and then out of hand. And it depends on how much alcohol is involved, because if there's a lot of alcohol involved, the guy who's talking would have talked back to Mama Boss.
Yep. Right.
And then then you know who's the problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's the way this works.
And there was quite a few fights at the Commanders Eagles game.
Yeah.
There was, as I was walking up, right after halftime, I was walking back up to that area where you met me at, and they had, when we got up to the top of the steps, they forced us to go right instead of going straight, and they had it blocked off. And I looked when I was passing, and you can see there was like a blood, and it just like was in a streak. And come to find out, somebody got sucker punched, and that individual fell, hit his head, and had a nice little laceration above his eye. You know, and it's getting ridiculous.
It is.
Right.
There's no need for fighting. It's a football game.
Right.
Yeah,
and then go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, and you know, there was actually somebody who passed away at the Steelers game.
Yeah, he fell.
Falling off the escalator.
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
Well, at the recent is like a recent game.
Yeah,
Like,
this
this
week.
Falling off the escalator, fighting, or like got thrown off the escalator.
Nobody knows.
No.
Nobody.
There's
knows.
cameras. That's the one thing about these friggin' stadiums
cameras
is that
everywhere.
this is a casino. There's cameras everywhere. They know every place and everything that happened. So we don't know. We may not know, but somebody knows.
Oh yeah, they know. I heard
Yeah.
that he fell. I didn't hear that
Well,
he
that's
was
what's being
pushed.
reported.
Right.
That's what's being reported currently. But yeah, he passed away after falling off the escalator. But they're not saying how, what. But anyways.
Yeah, it's crazy. Did you
unfortunate.
did you guys see the linebacker for the Rams tackle the streaker with the?
I heard about that. I heard
that
about
was-
that.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
Bobby Wagner.
Yeah, Bobby Wagner did. Yep.
Look, I'm gonna tell you, if
Bobby
anybody's
Wagner
dumb
was
enough,
a streaker.
no,
No.
he tackled the streak. I'll tell you, if anybody's dumb enough to get on the field,
Oh
you
yeah.
deserve everything that comes to you.
Yeah, it was like
I'm sorry.
I think it would be fun if I tried it one time.
Then you deserve everything that comes right. I'll tell you what, I guarantee you, there is nothing on my body that says speed and fast. So I am not going, or streak in the same sentence. So
and he wasn't.
I'm not.
He wasn't. He was clothed. He wasn't naked or anything like that.
right.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. But I mean, streaker. I don't mean
That's what they-
the
yeah.
naked. But yeah, that does
Yeah.
what it means.
Well, you got to go find the video of him outside on the golf cart, arrested, and he's just still semi-conscious.
Oh really? That's funny.
Yeah, they're asking him questions and he doesn't know how to answer. He's just
Well,
in
clearly-
la la land.
you get
Clearly,
hit by
was
it.
he intoxicated or was he
Oh,
just
I don't
hurt
know,
from
but
the hit?
I'm gonna say a little bit of both.
Both, yeah. Yeah, I the joke with my son is, because they all, they've asked like, do I want to be buried, this and that, and so whenever I do pass, I'm gonna be cremated, and my son is he's gonna run across the field, just sprinkling my ashes as he's running. So
Sorry about that, guys.
Hold on a second. So
No worries.
Biz_15 said he heard it was a gender reveal.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was, because it was pink smoke. So
Yeah.
and that's the first thing that I thought of.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
That's the first thing I
What
thought
happened?
of.
Oh my God.
So they
So now
were
he's going to
saying-
get arrested for
because he did
announcing
a
that
gender-
he's either having a daughter or a niece.
Well, I don't know if it was. I didn't hear if it was his child or anything like that. But
Yeah.
I'll tell you
I
what, if
heard
it's
it
a
was-
friend, that friend better bail him out.
damn right.
Well,
and he's
you got-
never allowed to go to another NFL game.
I forgot which game it was, but the gender reveal for that one after the touchdown.
Yes,
it was the first one.
That was it was the,
Buffalo
Rams,
Rams game,
and-
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so I guess
Yeah,
everybody's
but
trying to.
so he scored a touchdown, and
And
then
then
he
he
said
said-
something that they gave audio to.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
it. That's
Yeah.
all that was.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a player,
Like,
and it was his
had
sister
had
that
to
he
score a
was giving.
touchdown, and
yeah.
instead of being able to say, pulled out like a pink handkerchief, that'd have been kind of cool too. You know what I mean? Like that would have worked the exact same way.
Yeah,
Yep.
but this one was actual pink smoke. So
Yeah. He had two smoke cans and they were pink. and that when I saw that, I was like, I wonder if that was a gender reveal. And that's funny that you just said that.
and what I want to know is how he got that into the stadium.
That was
he's
exactly
already
what
out
we asked.
the night of. He got bailed. Okay,
Bailed out,
then
yeah.
then his friend was probably in on it too. So
That
But
well,
how did you
go
sneak
there?
that
You
in?
go there with bail money. That listen, if you're going to plan something like this, and that's got to be planned. Somebody's got to work that out in a lot of different ways. That means somebody knows somewhere in that stadium where you could be on the outside and grab something from somebody. Somebody from the on the end, you give somebody something on the inside. That, I mean, the vet had thousands of places like that. It would not surprise me in the slightest bit that your stadium is the exact same way. That there are places where somebody outside could give something to somebody inside.
Yeah, there is in San Francisco.
Yeah, so
Santa Clara, but yeah, there is a way to get stuff in there.
So there's no doubt in my mind. And that guy's also got bail money because you're going to have to get bailed out.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I wonder how much that cost.
So I know that you guys are all like humdrum because whatever, but I'm 4-0, so I want to talk a little bit about the fact that not only did I spank, we spank. Hey, listen, how do you feel about Carson Wentz? I didn't hear that part of the conversation. How do you feel about Carson?
I
thought
so much.
No, I mean,
2 thumbs up and a twist. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's exactly how you feel, I'm sure.
No, I mean, I'm giving him till week 7. I think first 4 games it's not enough. The offensive line's not blocking for him. He's not being smart and getting out of the pocket and throwing it away. And then when he does do that, he doesn't throw it past the
line of scrimmage.
The line of scrimmage. So, and we're getting penalized on that. But yeah, the offensive line's not playing very well. So I don't necessarily put it all on Carson.
Well, not yet.
Yeah, not yet. I mean,
but you guys are holding up the rear here. Like, we are the best division in football, and you guys stink.
We do. I saw that where we're the NFC beast, and you guys are all looking good, and we're on our backs. So I get it.
Well, we have to ride a surfboard into the mix. Led by me, of course.
The next 2 weeks, we've got the next 2 weeks. We have a winnable game, so we'll see. We play the Titans, and then we go to Chicago for Thursday night football. So
you guys look at the Titans as a winnable game?
I mean, stop Derrick Henry. That's all you got to do.
Okay. You guys thought the same thing about that, hey, listen, just stop the run against the Eagles. You guys did great against the run.
Yeah, we did.
That was the game plan.
We got
that was the game plan. So,
you
have to score points in the first half. The second half definitely is.
You can't wait till the fourth quarter to score points. So
no.
So, and I know that the Giants got to be, sniffing themselves a little bit for the first time in a long time because, hey, they beat the Chicago Bears, when there wasn't any water on the field.
If we're sniffing ourselves, I know damn well y'all are rubbing yourself. Okay.
Oh no, they're not rubbing. They're eating.
Oh, they're
something.
rubbing. I mean, they're like, they're really getting into it.
Whatever, you know what I mean? You could say whatever you want. You know what I mean? We're 4-0 and you're not. Yeah.
Okay. We all know, all 4 of us know, it's not how you start, but it's how you finish.
That's right.
That's the big thing. So,
hey, listen,
now,
we gotta go and beat Arizona this week. That would be make it 5 in a row.
And we gotta beat Green Bay. And I'm gonna say this: it's gonna be a feat. I'm glad we're not playing in Lambeau. I mean, that's one less of an advantage that the Packers are gonna have. But I do want to say this about Jones, and I said this in the beginning of the season. So Jones has thrown 3 touchdown passes, 2 picks, 630 plus yards, 63% completion. What do? Is he on a progress report every 4 games? Because right now, I believe he's playing at the best football he's played since his rookie season. And for all the doubters and the haters out there, maybe this is the first 4 games. Hopefully, if he could keep this going, and maybe minimize the turnovers, the 1 fumble and the 2 picks. Although I would say 1 pick, that last pick he threw against the Dallas Cowboys, that was just a desperation throw. So, but
yeah, I'm going to say from an analyst perspective on Jones, I think the running, him running the ball, says a lot about your offensive line on how he's trying to scramble to get out of position. But again, he is making it up. I mean, he is getting yardage.
He is balling.
I mean, it's not a good thing that a quarterback is killing people with his legs, but
You
at
can
least
do it,
it's
though.
something, you know.
And
But-
then he's got a high ankle sprain and then coming back in. And what I couldn't believe was Tyrod Taylor, how he treated his own body, throwing himself out
Right.
there like that. I was just like, you got to be kidding me.
So I know, Philly, you mentioned that we beat the Bears. Yes, we beat the Bears. This was a big winnable game for us because we got to look at our next two. We got Packers, and then we got Baltimore coming up soon. So we had to win this game just so we don't put ourselves in a hole.
So
se.
I'm going to say something here. I'm going to say something here that's probably going to go down as more of something that's positive for you guys as well. I think that 3 teams from this division actually make the playoffs.
I said
From
that
what
before
I
the
have
season.
seen, I think that the whole AFC West is frauds. I think that the NFC North, the NFC West is frauds. I think all of them 2-2, they're all frauds. I think that the NFC North is going to wind up. Minnesota is going to be in it, and I thought Detroit was actually going to play. And they're coming out to and now I
Their
feel like that's their
defense,
coach
man.
that's the problem. It's the
Well-
coach that's the
Well,
problem. or the
they're
defensive
playing
coordinator.
for the coach. They're just not finishing. They've been in every single game.
Well, they're not. It doesn't matter whether they're finishing because the problem is that they're letting up too much in the beginning. So they can finish fine. In fact, it always seems like there's not enough time in the game.
Right.
That's what it looks like with Detroit. So I think that Minnesota winds up making it just because, and I think that Green Bay is going to do it because of the Rodgers mystique. For some reason, he's able to win games just on his name alone.
Right.
And then you got Tampa Bay, who's the best of a bad bunch down south.
Yeah.
So that means you leave 3 teams that I think are going to come out of here. And that means one team is still going to be somewhere in the middle of nothing. And it could have been Washington, but you guys stink.
Now, and is it me or does Brady not look Brady-esque?
No, he's about to get divorced. That
Yeah.
shit weighs on you. I
Yeah.
gotta watch my language. That weighs on you. It doesn't matter. You're a human being still.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's goat or not. You're getting divorced. That's good. That's a problem. That's a problem within your life. That's what makes football such that puts them above everybody else because they're not supposed to have feelings and lives and
Right.
they're
Right,
not supposed
right.
to be dads and whatever.
And they're
It's
supposed to
just
be
they are
giants.
football
you know?
players,
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's exactly what happens. You know what I mean? He has got the highest profile marriage in the world. Short of Prince, the prince that just became king. You know what I mean? I mean, let's think about that for real. He's got the biggest, non-royal marriage, in the world. And that weighs on you when now all of a sudden you're getting divorced. Because people are talking about you, and in fact, people in the locker room are talking about you. I knew Gazelle had a boyfriend. That was like almost common knowledge in Tampa. But the fact that they got divorced because she was tired of having the boyfriend.
Was
Well,
it
I don't think it was AB.
we saw that
We would
picture.
have known about it then.
It's crazy because either way, he's working and he's still, that's what affects it all. He's working at his age, and his wife doesn't want him to work anymore. So it's a catch-22 for him.
That's because she stopped working 5 years ago.
Oh, I know.
I mean,
You know what I mean?
She
She's
doesn't
tired
need-
of
she
raising the
doesn't need
kids
to
by
work.
herself. Is what it
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's what it is. She's tired of
But
raising.
they got enough
So
money.
now
They're gonna
she's
hire a
ready.
nanny.
Yeah,
I mean,
That's
that's
exactly
that's
what I
us.
say.
That's us on the outside looking in. So
exactly.
now, I don't want to spend too much time on this, but you got me intrigued. You knew she had a boyfriend.
So I mean, everybody knows that I used to do a dating show,
Mm-hmm.
and we were trying to start another show where it was just going to be pro athletes, like it was going to be like the pro sex show. You know what I mean? Something like we didn't know what to name it because we were going to talk about professional sports and sex. You know what I mean? And be like a gossip show. And one of the things the first things I was going to be able to break was that I was trying to get a picture of her and her boyfriend.
It's not. I mean, I think it's kind of funny how AB came out of the woodworks and posted that picture, which could be taken out of context.
Well, Shannon Sharp let him have it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, Shannon Sharp, and I'm surprised we haven't talked about Brett Favre. What the freak? Talk about a reverse Robin Hood. What?
Yeah.
Y'all know what I'm talking about, right?
Kind of.
Okay, so those that don't know, Brett Favre, the allegations, allegedly, Brett Favre took money from Mississippi, the state of Mississippi, that's supposed to be going to welfare projects or welfare families, and put it towards a gym for his daughter to play volleyball. Now, the amount of dollars that was spent, I've heard from $1 million to $5 million. The fact, and now these allegations to me, and you guys know how I am about character. Okay, now these are undisputable allegations. One thing I'll say about Favre is that he's even stated in text messages saying, "Will this get back to me?" So he knowingly did wrong. Knowingly, allegedly, because no criminal charges has been pressed as of yet. But if you ask me,
no, because that's actually it becomes book. No, yeah, but he's not going to get. There's not going to be any criminal charges.
Why not?
Because this is the government. The government doesn't make mistakes, and that's the one thing Like, he is high profile enough that this is going to be like, oh, this was actually done properly. He's actually been very, very forthwith about everything and whatever. And that guy's going to then run for governor. And that guy's going to run for governor. And
governor of Mississippi, probably. Yeah,
listen,
probably.
I mean, but that's what happens. That's what happens. This is real politics there. You know what I mean? That's all that is. If you had told me it was $50 million, $100 million, $500 million, I would have said okay. You know what I mean? Right now, each one of these states gets billions of dollars. And that includes Mississippi too.
Right.
So the fact that they want to cry, when a state wants to cry poor, and I understand that they have a lot of people that are in need in Mississippi, and it's not the people that
Mississippi is one of the poorest states in.
That means there's a lot of collusion up at the top. That's what that tells me. So Mississippi is probably one of the most ridiculously run states in the union because none of the money trickles down from there. It stays all the way up to the top. Now we're talking politics, which is a whole different world.
Right.
But
well,
you know what I mean? I'm a firm believer of those people that are poor there, they're poor there for a reason, and ain't no help coming from the top.
And for me, that's kind of where I don't want to make this too much of a politics. I just want to state what's wrong is wrong. If you've made over 100 million plus in your career, but yet you want to take money away from a program that's helping those that have to do without, there's something wrong with that. If you want a gym for your alma mater. Okay,
yeah,
you do it the right way. Hold on a second, Philly. Hold on. You do it the right way. You do fundraisers. You bring your buddies in with other millions. You do not take state fundage that's already limited. Cut in half, diced up.
You're missing the point. You are missing the point. It's had to be offered to him initially for him to take it. That's the problem. That somebody who actually had control of that money said, you know what? We could do this. And, so, I mean, but that's, like I said, they're speaking different languages than we know. Right. We don't speak that language, and that's the problem. We could judge all we want. But the problem is that when you're dealing with billionaires talking to millionaires, the language is a lot different than us talking to each other.
Right. Well, first it was a state representative talking to Brett Favre, and the whole communication. And I hear what you're saying. That's what
I'm getting at.
No, and I hear what you're saying. But the point I'm trying to make is, knowingly,
you're talking morally.
Morally and normally, well, I'm sorry. Let me back up. You're right. Morally, he said in the text message, "How will this come back to me?" That, and then there's other text messaging. I don't, but I that's the only one I'm going to comment word for word from, because I looked at the other ones. I read the reports, but for him to make that question alone, it speaks volumes, because even if wrong is wrong, okay, if a state representative representative comes to me and says, "Hey, Sneaky, I love your show, I love what you do, I'm going to give you this money to fund your show, to do whatever you can," of course, if I come back saying, "Okay, well, how this is going to come back on me," if I have to say that, don't take the money.
Well,
I mean, I'm just.
Yeah, I think, again, I don't know that. I don't know. I can't speak intelligently about it. The truth of the matter is that, like, again, the media makes out to be things that maybe not even there.
Agreed.
So
Agreed.
I do I believe the fact that he could be a complete shitball? Yeah. You know what I mean? I firmly believe that. We learned that when he showed his junk to some reporter.
Right.
You know what I mean? So let's not say that this guy's an angel and all of a sudden he's robbing from the poor. I think that somebody already discussed this with him, and $5 million that could have been better used somewhere else in that state wound up in his hands. And he says, "Well, if I get to choose where it goes, it's going to go to this gym to help out my daughter be able to play volleyball."
I agree with you.
Because it's not just his daughter that's playing volleyball. It is a part of that community and a bunch of other. It's not like she's in there playing volleyball by herself. You know what I mean? There's going to be other people that are.
Yeah, but there's other ways of getting, again, for
thousands of different ways.
For me, for him to sit there and say, "How is it going to come back to me?" And I read the reports. I made my own opinion, and the only point that I got to judge him was the fact when he said what he said on the. And there's other text messages, and you could see it. You can see how it was communicated back and forth, and you'll be appalled. But
you saw your man LT. You just saw your man LT.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, lots of what he's done in his life is appalling. You know what? Who am I to cast the first stone? That's really what it comes down to. This is stuff that is higher level than us, and you could have an opinion, and you're right for your opinion.
Right.
How you feel is how you feel, and there's no reason for me to try to change that. And I'm not going to be able to. You know what I mean? You're going to feel a certain way about it, but everybody can say that about everybody, including me. Oh. I'm not an angel.
We know that.
I know that you guys look up to me like I'm a god, and I get that. I can appreciate that. It's all it's perfect.
And it's funny you bring up LT. The fact that I came back to work and I was excited at what happened. I met the man, and then of course there's always that one person that has to bring up the negative aspect of everything. Like for example, if I go meet Michael Vick, I'm going to be happy to meet Michael Vick, but then there's going to be that one person to be like, "Oh, did you bring your dog?"
Hey, listen, I'm not blaming LT. Like I said, they drive on a highway that we don't see.
Right.
When you drive at 1,000,000 miles an hour, your life is moving much differently than our life. So I don't blame, see, or criticize. I don't judge. Nope. I'm just using this as the example to be able to express kind of what we're talking about here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't hold nothing against LT. LT was one of the greatest, players to play this game. And I don't care if he was stoned on crack. You know what I mean?
Right.
He was a great player in this league. And I am, I could care less about any of that other stuff because I don't care about baseball with the steroids. Everybody was doing steroids. They were hitting hundreds of home runs. You know what? Baseball loved it because they needed to get somebody back into the mix of things.
That's Sosa McGuire's story. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, so whatever would have you. You know what I mean? I don't care about any of that. Whatever's going to make the game better, do it. Who am I to say one way or another? It's when it becomes, oh, well, we're going to be moral about it. This is a game.
Well,
There
I
ain't no
mean, at the same
morality in a
time,
game.
I think for me, it's the impact that something has on others. Now, there's a lot of athletes out there; they're not perfect. We can agree to that. But to take resources away from someone that has to do without, to me, and especially it affects a certain community, the African American community, and I take that personal. And I'm just going to be honest. I'm not making it a white or a black thing, but let's be real. In the state of Mississippi, the majority of the people that are on these government assisted programs are people of color. And again, I've always said growing up, once I decided to follow politics, go to college and study it, whatnot. There's a system in place in everything we do. Okay. And no matter what system you have in place, there are people that are going to take advantage of it. And in this instance, there's like I'll say taxes, for example. Okay. You got the rich that barely pay any, and you got everybody else that pay what they pay. So no matter what you have in place, someone is always going to take advantage of it.
But I understand.
And I think
I also I would love to say that those rich people that barely pay any pay about 5 times what you and I pay. So and that the crux of those people do. Are there people that get away with it? Absolutely. Is everybody trying to get away with as much as they can? Absolutely. That's
right.
part of the game. That is absolutely part of the game. We just get angry when somebody's winning the game better than everybody else. That's the problem with Trump. He wins the game better than a lot of other people. He uses the system that somebody else made to his advantage in every way possible. And that is the issue with him. The fact that he is an asshole and he doesn't know how to talk to people and that he's got all of those negative qualities to him is irrelevant. That is everybody's morality talking to them. Truth of the matter is that he is the best at playing the system and that there's every level beyond him and us. And that's where, like I said, I'm using the system myself. You know what I mean? I have to use every bit of the system that I can. You know what I mean? And it's hard. Trust me, because I don't get away with as much as Trump does.
And ultimately too, and I know we're over time too. But when it pertains to a program that everybody can get into, you kind of have to look at who do you want to get away with this system? Do you want the people that have more, or do you want people that have less? Who do you want to point the fingers and you're taking too much? The poor or the rich? And I think that's a good way to end it. How about we do this again?
Talk about the scores though. Like, what are we going to do this week? Because I know that I wasn't holding the button today, but I definitely would have said, "Hey, we got to go over our games this week."
We had a good conversation. I was just letting it roll. Okay.
I know. Well, that's what I'm saying. We're here. We're going to run late. Who cares now? So.
Hold on. Okay, hold on a second here.
All right. I'm back in charge. I just don't hold the button.
Give me 1 second.
Okay, so I got. Hold on a second here. Crap.
Colts and the Broncos play tomorrow, but that's not a big deal. I play the Eagles. I play the Cardinals. You play the Packers at 9:30 in the morning, and you guys are 8-point underdogs under at 41. I think that you guys get exposed a little bit. I don't trust the Packers. I think the Packers stink. I think that your defense is going to be able to hold them for a little while, but not all the game. And I think that for some reason or another, the time difference is going to screw with you guys. I actually have you guys losing by 10, like to a, I was going to say it's like 30-20, but it's more like going to be like 27-17. I don't think you guys are going to score a lot of points.
Pork Ryan?
I'm going to go with Packers. I'm thinking 24-21 Packers.
Obviously, I'm going to go 27-24, the over. Giants by 3.
Drew, do you have an opinion on the Packers Giants?
Giants, Packers playing in London. I'm going to say 28 to 23 Green Bay.
Who's the home team in this?
Green Bay.
Green Bay.
And Jones is day to day. Rumor has it that we were working out that Alabama quarterback,
Mike
AJ.
Glennon.
No, I was about to cuss on this show. I made it almost over an hour. Don't ever say that name in my presence. Say 0-7. He played for the Bengals. I want to say, for some, I'm going to say Macron.
Fitzpatrick.
No, it's like Macron and Fromm were practicing, but Jones is day to day and he's showing progress. All right. So who you got, Pork Ryan?
I already said
Green Bay.
Green
You got
Bay.
Arizona. Oh, you got no. I mean, I'm sorry. Who were you playing?
Oh, we're playing Tennessee. We are
And it's only a 2.5-point spread, and it's
42 and a
43.
half. Yeah.
I have
okay,
43 on my side, but
yes. I mean, I think we're gonna win this game.
I feel very confident in what you just said.
Yeah. We are gonna win this game 35-0. No.
Now
35.
we know.
I'm
Now
teasing.
we know you're
I'm
absolutely
teasing.
full of crap.
No, I think we're gonna win this game. It's gonna come down to a Joey Sly field goal. It's gonna be 31-28.
Okay.
31-28.
Yeah.
Y'all playing there at home?
Yep, at home.
There you go.
Oh, we kind of broke tradition too, because normally the person that is the player or the team that we're representing goes last. That's my fault. That's on me.
That's what happens when somebody else is holding the button. Hey, listen. All right. So since he's already screwing things up here, I'm going to do. So I think that for something, this line's telling me something. This line's too low. So I think that the Commanders win this game. I'm actually going to go with the Commanders. I don't think it's going to be anywhere near as high a score as you're talking about. I think that you guys are going to be able to hold them and get through their line. If it is stopping the run, I don't think Tannehill's strong enough right now, and I don't think that they have the receivers. So I actually would have you guys winning this game like 21-13 or 21-17, something along those lines. Maybe 20-17. Like a 19-17 is what came to my mind, but I'm like 19 points to win the game, but maybe.
Never know.
And I think you're getting your running back. Isn't he coming back this week?
Gibson?
No, he's fine. It's Brian Robinson, the one that was shot. So he is eligible to play, but they said we have started the clock on him. I don't think he's going to come back this week.
So they want a full week.
Yeah, I think they want a full week with him.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Makes sense.
And that would I think that also has a little bit of a, that becomes more of a inspiration.
Right. I mean, in all seriousness, Antonio Gibson hasn't done bad. They just don't run the damn ball.
Well, because they're behind because, you guys.
Well, yeah, but
don't like to score in the first half.
In the beginning of the game, they don't run the ball at all. They want to pass. So 3 and out. You're down 21-0 in the first quarter. Then you have to pass. So
yeah, I'm gonna take Tennessee on this one, 27-13.
God damn it, Blue.
I just think Derrick Henry is going to be a lot to deal with running through that line. I think Tannehill's okay with the ball, but I think that kid is just going to be pounding it through that line.
I hope not. I'm excited to see him though.
He's fun to watch.
Yeah, hopefully he's going to be fun to watch on the sideline. Hopefully he doesn't play that.
Maybe this week you won't be holding your phone up while the camera's on you.
You know, and the funny thing is, I never pull my phone out ever. But then somebody was like, "Hey, you know, it was TickPick wanted us to get some footage
Yeah.
of as we were getting close to scoring or whatever." I'll never do it again. Never again.
I'm going to say something that has never been. This is my prediction, and we have yet to ever do this on this show. I can actually see a 2020 tie in this game.
Get the hell out of here.
I'm going to go 2020. It's a tie.
It's not real unless you bet it for $5 on a parlay. That I'm sure a tie in an NFL football game, it'd be worth a lot of money for $5.
Yeah, I'm sure it would be.
And how many has there been this year? 2?
2. Week 1. Both week 1.
Yep.
I think
there's just something that tells me that
I think we almost had a third on week 1, but somebody ended up scoring with 2 minutes left, I think.
I just see a missed field goal at the end to break the. I just
Well, I guess I can't be too upset with leaving with a loss then.
Right. Right. I don't know. There's just something. Well, and you know, for all I know, you guys probably win 36-0, like you said, 34-0.
I hope,
but I would not be shocked if it's a 20-20 tie. I believe you guys will
All
hold.
Right, so that leaves
under 100 yards. But go ahead.
I hope not, because I have him going this week, and obviously he's on every single one of my teams. Every single one of my teams. The Dallas Cowboys are going up against the Los Angeles Rams, and it is 5-point dog, and over under being 43.
43.
And it's in
LA.
Yeah, it's in LA. Are you going?
I don't think I'm going to be able to make it. I've got too much going on. That's why I got all the gray.
He's saying it's not Cooper Rush. That's what he's talking about.
Yeah,
it's not Cooper Rush.
I'll start. You know what? I think this game is the game that Cooper Rush's streak ends. He just wanted to win his first 4 so he can be mentioned above Starbuck. I think it's going to be 28-17 Rams. I think this defense is going to be a little too much for Cooper. Maybe a pick 6, you know. But that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I'll let Pork Ryan go first.
I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I think it's going to be a defensive game. I see Rams 17-14.
Okay. Yeah. That was a great insight. I busted balls all day today. Sorry, I don't mean to. All right, so I think that I agree. I think that it is going to be a low-scoring game, but I think that it's going to be very low-scoring for the Cowboys. I think that they're going to match like the 3 points that they got against Tampa Bay, and I think it's going to be really tough for Cooper to score any points whatsoever, and it's going to make it okay for Dak to come back. Like, I think this is the game where Dak is going to be able to come back. And ultimately, I think that it's going to be, it could be as much as 24-3, but I think it could be like 24-6 or 20-6. I mean, it could be like enough of a difference where the point spread's not going to matter, but definitely just the Cowboys not scoring any points.
I have it going the other way. I have, of course, but I've got Cowboys winning 24-16 due to the fact of our defense holding them. I just don't see Matt Stafford. You know, what I saw this past weekend, that arm is not what it used to be.
Yeah.
And our defense is going to prevail. I mean, you got Jalen Ramsey on one side, you know, okay. You got Aaron Donald going against Zach Martin, okay. Well, what's that going to leave? You've got Wagner, who isn't up to step. He's not the same Bobby Wagner. So I feel Tony Pollard is going to be playing a big role in this, and he's going to get himself some long runs. So I just see it. I think Cooper's going to do it, and we're going to move on to the Eagles.
Okay.
And speaking of moving on to the Eagles,
We play the Arizona Cardinals, where we are a 5.5 point favorite, and the over under at 48.5.
Wow.
oh, but you're playing in Arizona too. That's a tough spot.
Yeah, but I'm going to be there.
Yeah, you're playing in Arizona. That's a tough spot.
I don't think so. All right, who's going first?
I wish I'd like to go second because I'm curious. Hold on a second.
All right,
Well, I saw-
Brian. All right, or
Yeah.
tell True Blue. Who cares?
Go ahead, True.
Yeah, well, I see this game. I see this game as a little leapfrog, back and forth with Kyler Murray, the way he's been playing, and of course what your quarterback
Hurts.
is doing hurts. So I see a little leapfrog going back and forth from the scores. It's probably going to be a 1-score game, probably by a field goal. I'd have to say anything, and I have Arizona being the home field advantage, just by 3 though.
Over under.
I think it's going to be over.
Okay. That
Man,
leaves
as
to you, Stevie.
much as I hate picking the Eagles,
He
I'm
knows
going to go with the
firsthand
Cardinals.
exactly.
I'm going to go with the Cardinals. I think Kyler Murray is just going to tear that defense apart. I'm thinking 35 to
Nothing.
2. No, 35 to 2. No, I think it's going to be a 35-27 game. I think Kyler. Who said it? Was it True that said it's going to go back and forth?
Yeah, they're going to
Yeah,
leapfrog.
I think it's going to go back and forth, but I think Hurts is going to fumble the ball. J.J. Watt's going to pick it up and score a touchdown.
Oh, damn. I did not know this. So apparently I'm looking at Kyler Murray's record in Arizona, his home record. 9-13-1.
Yeah.
He is 4-0 in Texas, though.
He is 4-0 in Texas. He is.
Could they move that game to Dallas?
Right. That's his true home team, right? That's his true. Yeah, I'm still gonna go. What stands out to me is that pass that he threw to Buffalo to beat Buffalo with no time left on the clock.
Who beat Buffalo? Tua.
Right. Well, I'm talking about a couple years ago when he threw that Hail Mary.
We're
Hail
talking
Mary.
about 2018.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Was it 2018? Was that his rookie year? Maybe he did that.
Yeah.
Anyway. No. F it. I'm gonna go Philly on this one. I'm gonna say 28-25 Philly because I want you to go into Dallas with full momentum.
We're playing up in Philly.
Well, I'm sorry, going against Dallas with full momentum, and that game will determine how real Philadelphia is.
I agree with that.
That's what I've been saying since the season started.
I'll agree with that because I think that they're going to be the best defense that we're going to face. And I think they'll be the best defense we'll face all year long. But that being said, we're going up against Arizona this week, and I think Arizona is, again, they are frauds. Kyler Murray is not going to be studying his playbook this week.
He's going to be playing Call of Duty.
Yeah, and because of that, they're going to just falter. You know what I mean? Like, they made a joke about that whole thing, but there was a lot of credence to it.
Right.
That's the problem. He's going to go in there. He's going to remember the fact that he beat us 2 years ago, I think it was 2 years ago when he played against Jalen Hurts when it was his rookie season and the second half right before the Dallas Cowboys game. And I think that we're going to go in there and we are going to score a lot of points on them, and they are not going to be able to come back. I think they'll get some garbage points, but I got this game like 37-22. It sounds ridiculous of a score, but I think that we just spank them around, and I think that they start to get points and then go for 2 points conversions and stuff like that, and they actually wind up getting 22 points. 37-22. Mark it down. Get a book and say, hey, we want this the over-under to be 59 points. If I want 58.5, because book that. That's going to make you a lot of money this week.
All right.
Well, there you go.
Hour and a half. There's a record, guys.
No, we used to do 2 hours. Come on.
Oh, that's right. We did 2 hours with the with Byron and Jim Jeffco, and we got to do another show with them sometime soon too, because we got to talk about our fantasy football. And I still can't believe you
we got
beat
True
me,
Blue without a quarterback.
I cannot believe you beat me. I demand a recount.
Who did?
True Blue.
Without a quarterback.
Yeah,
without a quarterback.
He put his kicker at quarterback and still beat me. I don't even know how he did that.
No idea.
All right, guys. Since I got the button, and I'm going to do this right.
All right.
Hey, how about we do this all again next week?
Yeah, that sounds good. Hopefully, I'll be a little bit happier.
I apologize for missing last week.
Worries.
As everybody knows, everybody's been watching here. I had lost my brother last week, kind of suddenly. We actually had the funeral today. So it's awesome to be actually down in his basement. When I came down here, I didn't know that I was going to be able to handle it. I was like, whoa, I don't know. I don't know that I could do this. I lost it for a little bit, and I had to sit here for a few minutes just to get it all. I put it all together, but.
No worries, brother.
It's like I said, life always trumps sports. But he's an Eagles fan. He's got Eagles stuff hanging up all over here. The Phillies and all this other stuff. So he would have wanted this to be like that anyways. If he was here, you'd be hearing in the background, and we would have to bleep out a lot of different stuff. And he may moon the camera because that would be also something that would be right up his alley. But he's definitely going to be somebody who's missed. And it's everybody has to deal with loss, and like I said, even in football, it's just like a little bit of a distraction during a real tough day. So I appreciate that we have this show, and I appreciate everybody who watches and everything. Like I said, football is just a game, and I love it. And it affects people in a lot of different ways, but in some ways it can be a distraction, like on days like today. So, I just want to let you guys know that I love you all, and I love everybody who's watching, and even the people that aren't watching and stuff like that. So, but I got to get back upstairs and take care of business. So, as always, go Birds!
Go Giants!
How about the Cowboys? Never gets old.